Good evening, team. So, once again, we are meeting. Hope you are doing well. And today's topic is very interesting for nowadays because we are separation of the front end development and we are uh, doing as a separate development for the back end. And we have the front end has a different platform like Angular, React. So multiple platforms is connecting to the backend API. So mm, for that structure, we need to take care about the backend structure. It should be like a loose couple, and it should be like a proper server-side rendering mechanism. So today we are focusing on the microservice architecture in .NET, and that .NET we are using the CQRS design patterns. Okay, basically we are understanding the CQRS design pattern. So in CQRS we have the like called as a command query responsibilities segregation. So what is meant by command, what is meant by query, and how we are segregating command and the query, that should be like a called as a CQRS design patterns. So, for example, here we can say that query responsibility segregation. Segregation nothing but it's a separation for the separation of the command and the query. So in DB operation, we have like for example, whenever we are inserting the data or whenever we are updating the data, that is the command. Okay, and whenever we are gathering the information about the schema, that is the query. So like for example, select start from the order. So we are fetching the current order details. That is the query, and insert or update. That is the command. Okay, how we are separating or segregating into our microservice architecture because of the separation of the responsibility. Okay, for example, let's say understand one use case here. Suppose this is the one user. Okay, we can say that this is the user, and okay, and this is our microservice architecture. Okay, inside the microservice architecture I have written the one command here. Okay, and I have written for the another command. Okay, for this is for example I have the insert command. Okay? And here I will put as a get get order. Okay, suppose one user. Okay, this is the user. Okay, one user is only uh, requesting for the get order. That should be like a insert command. It should be like open for the order user. It should be like a separation of the segregation. So in nowadays front end and the backend applications, so multiple user has accessing the our web service or microservice. So that should be like a loose couple. So when here we are trying to segregate the command and order. Okay, suppose you can consider here is the another user. Okay, and he want only access access for the insert order. So now he will be belongs to the insert command. So here we are creating a separate class for the insert command, and here we are create a separate class for the get order. It should be like a segregate, separate. That is called as a CQRS design pattern. Then now for this session, we are understanding basic structure of the CQRS design patterns. So let's start with the technical steps. So we will create a new project here. Okay, that is let me open the VS again in front of you. So it's a simple, but yeah, it's a very famous and a fantastic application. If your multiple client has accessing your web service, so you can use this template or design patterns. I will select as a.NET Core web application, web API, and I will put here, we can say we will create setup partner. This is the project name I have stored into the ecolon, and we'll create a new project here. Just like create. Yeah. So this session, we will create a multiple session for this fantastic series for understanding the CQRS, how we are implementing into the microservice, which layer we are defining. So detail we will understand each and every responsibility object. So let me reshare again that particular screen. Okay. So, okay. So here, this is our API project, or we can say the microservice project. Okay, whenever we are using the microservice, we need to define the gateways. So gateway, what is API gateway? API gateway is the middleware of our services and the client. Okay, whenever client is requesting some data, so that time our request goes to the API gateway first, and API gateway has deciding where we need to go, which service we need to go. Okay, so that is the meaning of the API gateway. Okay, this is our channel partner app. This is our app PI project. So now we need to select here. Okay, or we can set our create a blank solution here. I will suggest you can create a blank solution. So let's recreate again our application. I will delete for that application from mention location ecolon .NET project microservice CQRS. I will delete both project. That's it. We'll follow the again new project. Here we'll find a blank template. Okay, always if you are creating a new project, just create a blank solution for the better understanding or the better support project. Okay, so you can select as a blank solution. Then next, here you can put as a partner app. So this is the blank solution. And in that blank solution, we will create a multiple project which is belongs to the this microservice. Just understand the microservice. How we are creating a folder structure inside a microservice using the CQRS design pattern. So first things, now we need to create the folder structure here. Like I will create add new solution folder. First folder it should be like a API gateway. So let's like a few minutes ago we have discussed what is API gateway. API gateway is a middleware where user can or request can communicate to the service via the gateway. Okay, so we need to add a new class library here. Okay, to middleware, like just like add new project. You can put or you can select. We are selecting a class library here, netcore class library. Okay, so our solution name it should be like a channel partner app dot. Why we are putting the, it should be like a, this is a naming convention standard whenever we are creating a new project. Our solution name should be the our initial project name. Then we can say that this is the API gateway project. So we'll mention here the API gateway. So this is our library where we are creating some configuration for redirection of the respective services. So channel partner app dot API gateway. Okay, this is our project name. So we'll create add here netcore 8. This is the configuration project where we are creating some app setting file and we are redirecting to the this particular project. I will delete this class file. Okay. This is the first folder we have done. If I'm going to the physical folder part, it should be like a create one SLN file and that SLN file, one folder will be coming. Okay. So next thing is like if we are creating a multiple services, then next folder should be like a services. Add solution folder services. Here in this folder, we are putting all services which is required to this channel partner applications. Like for example, if I am creating a separate service for the admin panel, separate service for the front end application, okay, like end customer, admin panel, finance department. So all services will be coming here. Just like I will add one new service here, new project. Or here inside the services, if you have the multiple services, you can create again new folder here. Like for example, first service should be like a client admin. And this is the channel partner has a client admin services. Okay, then we have the new solution folder for as a client configuration or web admin. I can see the web admin. And we have the different service for the uh, product owner service. We can say the PO service, product owner. So suppose considering this application, we have three microservices. So we have created a service folder, and inside service folder, we are again create a three different folders. So better understanding, we are separating each service against the each folder. Client admin service, product owner service, and the web admin service. Now, if I'm adding to the one service belongs to the client admin, I will add a new project, which is the ASP.NET Core. So it should be like a channel partner app dot client admin dot here API. We can say the API project. Basically, this channel partner app is our solution name. Service name is the client admin, and then this is the API project. Okay. Then we are adding into the channel partner app. Then we have the which folder? We have the location is the client admin. Then we have the API project. And this is the basic solution structure. We are maintaining into the our folder structure also. Let's create. Okay, so inside the client admin, we are creating a channel partner app dot client admin dot API. Here we are following the naming convention. Solution name. What is our solution name? Channel partner app. And then what is our service name? Client admin. That's why like this project is belong for the API. So if you are going to again this solution folder, so we can understand that folder was created perfectly. Yeah, perfectly. Perfect. Okay. Now, second things. Now we have created the project for the API gateway. So now, whenever we are implementing microservice architecture using CQRS, so it should be like dividing the our project. It should be like a multiple layers. Which layer? API layer, application layer, domain layer, and infra layer. Okay. What is meant by application layer? Application layer where we are defining our command and the queries. Okay, CQRS says you should define the command and the query inside the application layer. Okay, so let's understand again on Paint on this new diagram, basic understanding of the CQRS. So let me check if my Paint diagram is here. Okay, and I will open Paint again. Consider this is your whole microservice. We can say the channel partner. service or channel partner app. Okay. And inside the channel partner app, we have the three services. Which services? Three services. Just I need to create a three boxes here. First service, it should be like we can say the client admin. And service, second service we have defined as a web admin. And the third service we have defined as a product owner. Now we are defining the multiple project. Each and every services we are defining the multiple project. First project it should be like API where we are defining our endpoint. Okay. Second project it should be like application. Inside the application we are defining into the our command and the query languages. Okay. Then we have the third layer we can say as a domain. Then we have the infra. So these are the four projects we required each and every services. Just I will put here and here also. So already we have created an API project. We need to create again three projects for the application, domain, and the infrastructure. So API will take care for the endpoint, application will take care for the command and the query, domain will take care for the entity base, like what we are using the entity base architecture, and infra, here we are creating a custom repository or a generic repository using the unit of work patterns. Coming into the original here, we need to create the second project again. For the, like I will create the second project, channel partner. Here we need to create the libraries because now dot client admin dot application, where we are creating this client admin. Forcefully we need to add this folder name. Okay, location, this should be application project will create inside the client admin, so we need to put this project. Okay, so now if you see here, this is our API project, this is the application. Okay, just rename again, spelling mistake, rename. Okay, then third project it should be like a domain, where we are defining into the our domain entities. And partner dot client admin dot domain. Here we need to define the folder structure as a client admin. Our service name should be client admin. Inside a client admin, we are creating a four project. It should be like a belong that respective folder. So next, this folder also, this project is also created, and the last project is, which is the last project we need to create, infrastructure for the generic repository. Dot admin dot here also we need to define the, this is a part of client admin service. Okay, so this is the here we have ready for one service, application, domain, infra, and the API project. So we have created a four project for the to complete the one microservices. Same structure we need to follow the product owner and the web admin services. Okay, so this is the service folder we have done. Now next folder is the, if we require the common activities like infra activities for the internal services or external services or identity services. So here we can create a new solution folder as a infrastructure. For what infrastructure? This channel partner, this API application has an infrastructure we required. For example, we required a common resource files, or we can require the common logging mechanisms or message contract for the communication between one service to another service. So we have the multiple option pops up, rapid MQs. Okay, so here all common location we are defining the infrastructure layer. Okay, that infrastructure folder. This infrastructure will taking care for the any common activity belongs to these three services: client admin, product owner, web admin. Okay. So whenever, for example, if client admin is communicating to the product owner, so we need to use the rapid MQ messaging string, or we have the pops up as your mechanism, depends on your project choice. Okay. So here also we have creating a, like for example, common project code as a logging mechanism. I will add one library for the understanding. So our project, our solution name is the channel partner dot login. Here we are creating a, I will create a separate folder, channel partner app, infrastructure. This project will be created into the infrastructure mechanism. So here we have also multiple mechanisms like message contract also. For example, I will create a new project for the message contract. Message contract. So inside a message contract, we have the multiple facilities. Okay. So this is the common location where we need to define a multiple project logging mechanism, message contract, identity connectivity, or monitoring. Okay. So this is the infrastructure responsibility. API gateway, infrastructure, services, and then our last project, last two folder we can create here. For example, addition test cases. Okay, then we have the database also project. So this is the final structure for our microservice architecture. So API gateway, database, infrastructure, services, and the test. Test again we have the common mechanisms like for example, I will add one test case project here, add new project, X unique test cases we are using here. Then I will add dot. If I want to like write the test cases for the API gateway project, then I will select as API gateway dot unit test, and then here I will create as a test folder. So all test project will be belongs to the test folders. Okay. So this is the way. For example, if I am writing the unit test case for the client admin, so I need to add a new project here, like X unit test case. Then again, like a channel partner. Channel partner dot client admin dot unit test. We need to add a test. Okay. So this is the our structure will be ready. For the here we are writing the unit test cases for the API gateway or client admin service. API gateway is also a kind of one service where we are defining the middleware to check the identity of the user, identification, authentication mechanisms. So all over we are checking into the API gateway, and then API gateway is communicating to the model service, client admin service, product owner service, web admin service. So this is the basic for the structure. We are ready, and next lecture we are focusing on to the like each how we are writing the endpoint, okay, how we are defining the command, how we are defining into the query, then how we are defining the domain model, infrastructure model, we are implementing the unit of work, generic repository. It should be like a, we will create the in next video. So just like to basic understanding, you can continue also follow the some reading article on the Google like CQRS design pattern. How is the relation between the microservice and the CQRS design pattern? Okay. So just we have finished this the basic fundamental of the folder structures. The next lecture we will meet again. Thank you team. Bye bye.